you are looking for the most delicious, sweet, and edible Middle Eastern fragrances, then this video is for you. To be honest, I'm not a straight up gourmand girly, but during this season, I mean holiday season, Christmas time, that is when I crave for sticky, sweet, edible gourmands. I don't know why. For me, it reminds me of holidays and festive season. So even if I'm not a straight up gourmand lover, I consider myself as someone who appreciates a good and edible gourmands. So in today's video, I gathered my favorite Middle Eastern perfume gourmands in my collection. First up is kind of new in my collection. However, I fell in love with this fragrance so hard. And this is Minya by Paris Corner. This to me smells like a fresh and creamy almond cream with pistachio and salted caramel. This actually feels light and airy. However, it is very, very sweet. But then, guys, I am loving the sweetness of this as it feels light. Like there is a contrast of powderiness in this fragrance as well that I think controlled the thickness of the salted caramel and vanilla. This is definitely a straight up dupe of Sol de Janeiro Boom Boom Fragrance Mist. Not sure about the number. I'm gonna pop it on the screen. It is a kind of sweetness that I want to bathe myself with. As mentioned, this is very sweet, but there is a light and airy texture in it that I am really loving. I feel like I can rock this perfume even if it's hot outside. So, definitely it's not just a fall and winter gourmand for me because of the light and airy texture. And the kind of almond that is in here is like an almond cream. Actually, it reminds me a lot of Body Shop's almond collection. I used to have the almond scent body wash and body butter. So it is that kind of almond. And if you've tried that almond scent, you will know exactly what I mean. It's not that thick, sweet almond that I don't like from a lot of designer fragrances. This one definitely has that creamy almond that I am definitely enjoying. I'm so happy to have this in my collection because this is a stronger version of Sol de Janeiro's Bamba Mist, and I absolutely love that scent. And now that I have it in the Eau de Parfum concentration, I'm so happy. When it comes to longevity and projection, guys, this is 10 out of 10 for me. Amazing scent, longevity is very good, definitely above average, and lasts more than 8 hours. Yeah, this is a Middle Eastern perfume gourmand that I will rate a 10 out of 10. Highly recommend Minya by Paris Corner, and I find this one feminine leaning. Next up is kind of new as well in my collection. It came along with Minya. However, I am really loving this. This is Tiramisu Speculoos by Paris Corner under the Ministry of Gourmand collection. And guys, this is straight up Lotus Speculoos spread. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna describe it. If you're not familiar with Lotus Speculoos spread, I'm gonna post a picture on the screen. This is definitely giving that cinnamon and vanilla musk, biscuity kind of texture. It somehow smells like ginger as well, but it's not. I think if you're not familiar with speculoos, you might think of a ginger. Since I'm very familiar with Lotus Speculoos because I used to hoard that when I come to the States in Trader Joe's. I used to love that spread, and yeah, this definitely smells like that, okay? And it also has that biscuit texture. Absolutely delicious, guys. I am not really like into gourmand like kind of fragrances. However, there's something very addictive about this that I am really enjoying. I've worn this several times to bed already, and I just love how I smell like. Thick gourmands to me are my comfort scents. I actually normally wear them to bed. I know that's not the case for other people, but that's just how I use them. And yeah, Tiramisu Speculoos, I won't say smells like a tiramisu because to me this is more of a speculoos. I have other perfumes in my collection that smells like a tiramisu, and they're not from the Middle Eastern market. But anyway, Tiramisu Speculoos definitely smells like a lotus speculoos spread. I highly recommend Tiramisu Speculoos if you love the idea of smelling like a lotus speculoos spread. When it comes to longevity and projection, I find this fragrance very long lasting, especially on clothes. However, I feel like when it comes to projection, it's okay. It's not above average, but I feel like this will improve as time goes by. So yeah, currently loving this one, and I think that this fragrance is feminine leaning. Next up is Caramel Macchiato by Fragrance World, and this is under their coffee collection. And now guys, this, as the name suggests, smells like a caramel macchiato, or I will say a caramel cappuccino. So imagine a foamy cappuccino drizzled with loads of caramel, and you can have caramel macchiato. This is absolutely delicious. It smells like coffee, but this is a kind of coffee gourmand that I can tolerate because I have something in my collection as well that literally smells like you poured coffee. Caramel macchiato to me is just in a level of just smelling delicious. And yeah, because of that, I am definitely vibing with this fragrance. This has dates instead of sugar for sweetness. So yeah, I think that's why I am loving it. It has that thickness texture of the dates along with caramel, vanilla, and coffee note. This has a plum note as well. However, that plum note is just on top of it, you know, just giving this a little bit dusting of darkness. But this to me is still a solid gourmand. It is a kind of coffee scent that smells uplifting as well. I love wearing this in the morning though. Yep, with my coffee. This is not a kind of gourmand fragrance for me to wear before bed. Yeah, this is more of like, yes, a morning kind of scent along with my coffee. Highly recommend Caramel Macchiato by Fragrance World if the sound of smelling like a caramel cappuccino sounds appealing to you. Oh, and when it comes to longevity and projection, guys, this may not be like an extreme beast mode, but it lasts on me around 6 hours on skin and lasts longer on clothes. I find this fragrance feminine leaning. Next up is Liquid Brun by French Avenue. And guys, I don't know if you consider this as gourmand, but to me, this is too sweet that to me it is a gourmand. This to me smells like a root beer float with loads of caramel drizzles on top. Yeah, that's how it smells like to me. This is more of a caramel fragrance to me than a vanilla fragrance. Do you feel the same, or is it just me? Because I know a lot of people see this perfume as a vanilla fragrance, but to me this is more of a caramel scent. Yeah, And it smells like a root beer float, to be exact. I haven't heard anyone describing this as a root beer float, but yeah, it smells like a root beer float with lots of caramel. I didn't really like this at first spray as I found Ambroxan too heavy, but now, oh my god, I am extremely loving it. I find it quite addictive actually. I think this is more pleasant in the air. Absolutely delicious. I layer this with Lattafa's Eclair, and yes, it even became more addictive. By the way, Eclair is not in today's list as I don't really find it to be like a comforting gourmand for me. I mean, okay, I know a lot of you are a big fan of it, but I don't consider it as a gourmand. Yeah. Anyway, liquid Brun. I know a lot of men are using this as well, but I feel like it's too sweet. But of course, you wear whatever you want. Liquid Brun, unisex, lasts forever. Longevity and projection of this one is 10 out of 10 as well. Same like Minya. Love this fragrance. All right, next up, I think is my favorite Middle Eastern gourmand. And if you watch my channel, you know which one is it. Say it with me. Empire Victor by Khadlaj. And yes, this to me smells like a vanilla sponge cake with lemon shavings and caramel drizzle on top. Absolutely addictive. This is the best affordable vanilla gourmand in the market right now, period. If you watch my channel, you know how much I love Empire Victor, and it's coming from someone who's not really into extremely sweet fragrances. However, Empire Victor to me has that light and airy texture that is just perfect for it not to be extremely cloying. To me, this is a gourmand done into perfection. My favorite from Khadlaj. Yeah, can't recommend this enough. Longevity and projection are above average, and scent wise, I will say that this is my favorite in today's list when it comes to scent. This is a fragrance that I won't just use to go to bed. Like I will be comfortable using this if I go outside as well. That's how much I love Empire Victor. And I feel like this will be perfect as well all year round. And I think it's feminine leaning, even though it's unisex. Next up, I think is the sweetest and thickest in today's list. And this is Voux Pattiserie by Emir Paris Corner. And guys, this smells like a marzipan. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna describe it. It's a straight up almond marzipan pie. There is some freshness coming from the apple as well, and spices from cardamom and saffron. However, it is not a kind of spice that, you know, gives a warm, spicy kind of feeling. It is more of a spicy bakery kind of spice, if you get what I mean. I love this fragrance, even though this may not be for everyone, because I know there are people who didn't appreciate this fragrance at all. To me, I love it because this is a straight up dupe of Sergio's Italica, and I love Italica. And yeah, it's creamy, it's almondy, and it has some caramel touches in it as well. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a lot of caramel going on in the perfumes that I'm talking about today. Yeah, well, I guess I love caramel, right? Yeah, so to me, this is a very sweet marzipan pie with loads of caramel drizzles and cardamom and saffron. Quite milky and lactonic as well. This is half milky lactonic, half caramel sweetness. So imagine the level of sweetness of this fragrance. Yeah, this has a very thick texture. Also, just keep that in mind. And I find this fragrance feminine leaning. Yeah, when it comes to longevity and projection, this one lasts, all right? Maybe on skin, maximum 6 hours, and then it becomes soft. But on clothes, it stays forever. Yeah, once again, that is Voux Pattiserie by Paris Corner. All right, last but not the least is something that I cannot use on its own as of the moment. Okay, as of the moment, there's just something about it that I am still trying to understand. And I'm talking about Shaghaf Vanilla Toffee. The first time I sprayed this, I was like, oh my god, that smells absolutely divine and addictive. However, when I did a full day wear of this, and I did it twice already, okay, full day wear test 2 times, I noticed that there's just, I don't know, there's something lacking about this fragrance. I feel like it is so hyped to the point that I have very high expectations and my expectations were not met. Yeah, I think because, guys, this to me smells like burnt brown sugar. Yeah, and toffee, basically. Smokiness is the most like prominent vibe that I'm getting, and then the sweetness, you know. So yeah, this is smoky, sweet, and thick. I notice that it doesn't last really on me, and I'm talking about maximum, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours on skin. And since this is so hype, I was expecting it to be more, you know. But then, yeah, all I smell for now is burnt brown sugar with toffee and sweet vanilla. Okay, I don't want to mislead you because I included this in today's video. I included this because I love to layer this with Voux Pattiserie and Empire Victor. I feel like it is good for layering. You know, if you want to have that burnt sugar top, imagine adding a burnt sugar scent in a pastry. Yeah, that's what I love about this fragrance. Voux Pattiserie, layered with Shaghaf vanilla toffee, for me is a chef's kiss. If I can eat myself, I will eat myself when I layer these two together. I layered it with Empire Victor as well, and wow, vanilla cake plus burnt sugar on top. That's why I included it in today's video. I haven't formed yet my final thought about this fragrance. And okay, it's not just burnt brown sugar, it has a buttery texture as well. A nice fragrance, but for now I cannot use it on its own. It doesn't last for long as well. However, this combo, amazing. And this combo is amazing too. Alright, so that is the video for today, guys. Those are the sweetest and most edible Middle Eastern perfumes in my collection that I personally love. Let me know what you think of today's list. Let me know if you've tried any, if you like them as well, or if you don't, say whatever thoughts you have in mind in the comments down below. You know that I love chatting with you. Once again, thank you all so much for watching and see you on my next one. Bye, guys.